chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
He's number one right now. He's number one. This is his generation. This is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Floyd Mayweather has announced plans for a comeback in 2026, starting with an exhibition bout against Mike Tyson later this year. What caught attention, however, was his revelation that he is also preparing for a potential professional fight, possibly against Terence Crawford. Mayweather confirmed that discussions for a legitimate match are underway and that he and his team are working diligently to make this return a reality.
Everything is going great. I feel good. Working hard each and every day. And I can't wait for 2026.
When fans imagine dream matchups, one name often comes up: Floyd Mayweather. Even in retirement, he continues to cast a long shadow over the sport, and debates about whether he could beat today's top fighters persist. Recently, Robert Garcia offered a reality check on the idea of Mayweather facing Terence Crawford. He pointed out that while Mayweather's career has been extraordinarily successful, he has never achieved what Crawford and Manny Pacquiao have, dominating multiple divisions as undisputed champions. Still, Garcia admitted that his respect for Mayweather's skill and charisma makes him believe that Floyd would have a strong chance of winning if such a fantasy matchup were ever arranged.
Man, he doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions undisputed, is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? And not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. There's still greats out there. There's still, his era or last era, with the Mayweather and with the Pacquiao. I think he's, already accomplished more than Pacquiao was 8 division. So we could argue there because Pacquiao was 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
Robert Garcia also emphasized Terence Crawford's remarkable achievements. Crawford has done something Mayweather never managed, unifying all the belts in a single division. While Manny Pacquiao earned widespread respect by succeeding across multiple weight classes, Garcia pointed out that Mayweather's record, though impressive, lacks that undisputed distinction. Mayweather defeated his opponents decisively, stayed undefeated, and won iconic bouts, yet never captured undisputed status. Garcia stressed that this doesn't diminish Floyd's greatness, but it does underscore Crawford's standing as one of boxing's most complete fighters. Even so, Garcia drew on his personal expertise to explain why he would pick Mayweather in a hypothetical matchup, citing Floyd's superior defense, timing, and ring intelligence.
I still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
With all that said, what can you ultimately say about what occurred and what we saw Saturday night?
It was a great event, great turnout, 70,000 plus people. Gate was fucking insane from what I understand. Fucking that's good for boxing, man. Good for boxing, good for all the younger fighters. All these new things going on. I think it's going to be a positive thing for all the younger fighters.
Adola emphasized that Floyd Mayweather can be seen in 2 distinct, yet equally iconic, versions. On one hand, there was Pretty Boy Floyd, a fearless young fighter known for his speed, aggression, and lightning-fast combinations that overwhelmed opponents. On the other, Money, Mayweather emerged as a shrewd businessman, defensive genius, and pay-per-view superstar, building one of boxing's largest financial empires. Adola described Floyd as a masterful strategist who not only developed a unique fighting style, but also carefully crafted his public persona, giving each identity its own distinct appeal. Pretty boy Floyd drew fans through daring performances and risk-taking, while Money Mayweather captivated audiences with his technical skill, mental games, and ability to turn fights into global spectacles. His career left an enduring mark on boxing, establishing him not just as a fighter, but as a pioneer of the sport's modern business model.
Sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s, and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking. I watch the whole fucking episodes, and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument of, oh, you should have fought that person then. And I get it. I get it. Right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm going to work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm going to work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fighting, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right? In terms of the fights that brought all the eyeballs onto him, Oscar De La Hoya, you know what I mean? That Pretty Boy Floyd was, look, Diego Corrales is probably the best performance really from Pretty Boy Floyd, right? Corrales, I think, was unbeaten at the time, and look what he did to him. But Money Floyd brought the eyeballs on. That's when he started being controversial. Genius outside the ring in terms of marketing, genius inside the ring in terms of defensively, offensively as well. People don't give him as much credit offensively.
Zab Judah, who has previously fought alongside Floyd Mayweather, didn't hesitate to call Terence Crawford the standout fighter of his generation. He emphasized that every era has its own star, and currently, Crawford carries that mantle. Judah referenced Canelo Alvarez's remark that Crawford might even surpass Floyd, noting that such statements shouldn't be taken lightly. Crawford has already proven his ability to dominate top-level competition across multiple weight classes, with a style so complete that opponents have struggled to break him down. By making these points, Judah showed respect for Mayweather's legacy while also highlighting that the present belongs to Crawford. He believes that although comparisons across eras are natural, Crawford deserves recognition as the best fighter in the sport today.
Number one, this is his generation, this is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Just seen in the press conference, Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What did you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, he know.
Yeah.
If anybody would know, Canelo would know.
What do you think's next for both?
I don't know.
Too early? You like to see a rematch?
Rematches always sound good. But in a rematch, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Matter of fact, in a rematch, I'm predicting stoppage earlier.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah. I think so.
Badu Jack Edwards offered a different perspective on the Mayweather versus Crawford debate, questioning the need for such a matchup. He argued that Crawford deserves to enjoy his current success without constantly being compared to past legends. Edwards suggested that if Mayweather were to participate in a high-profile crossover bout, a fight against someone like Roy Jones Jr. would make more sense due to the names involved and the public interest it would generate. In his view, Crawford is in his prime and should be celebrated for his present accomplishments rather than pulled into hypothetical scenarios. Edwards emphasized that matching him against Mayweather not only diminishes Crawford's moment, but also distract from the historical significance of what he has already achieved. For Edwards, boxing should focus less on chasing impossible fantasy matchups and more on allowing champions like Crawford to stand as symbols of excellence in their own era.
Obviously, never going to get this fight, unfortunately, just two different generations. And I'm not necessarily asking you who would win. But if Floyd and Crawford were to cross paths prime for prime, would you just put that as yeah, that's 50-50, man? I don't know. Or are you just like, I might still give the edge to Floyd?
You know, man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You know what I mean? And, you know, they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd to be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. You know, it's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, like, and make up something just to, I got my opinion on, you know, how the fights will go, and, you know, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, you know, unfortunately, they didn't fight. You know, they could have made, they kind of two different eras, though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC. And Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
Sean Porter weighed in on the surprising announcement of a Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson matchup, describing it more as a potential street fight than a traditional boxing bout. He noted that Floyd and Mike have a long-standing rivalry, which could turn any confrontation personal, going beyond skill and strategy. Porter questioned whether boxing authorities would officially sanction such a fight, suggesting that while it might generate significant attention, it risks crossing lines the sport typically maintains. He believes the potential for chaos outweighs the spectacle, making it unlikely that the bout would ever occur under legitimate boxing rules. Several experts have expressed concern over the growing trend of exhibition fights featuring stars like Mayweather, Tyson, and even Jake Paul, arguing that these events prioritize entertainment and fame over genuine competitive boxing.
I don't see this one coming unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation, and so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened, and then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
Yeah, you're not kidding, right? You know, obviously we watched Mike Sean in November against Jake Paul. I think clearly those guys like each other. Floyd and Mike, not so much. Obviously, there's been some tension there over the years. Do you think they go in there despite the fact that this is an exhibition fight? I mean, do they go in there and do they both try and take each other out?
I don't know what that fight looks like. And, you know, that kind of was my biggest apprehension with coming on with you guys today. It was like, how do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show, we already know, like, we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable. But it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring, you know? It wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake, and I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
You falls apart sometime before.
This doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know how you can make this one make sense.
And to your point, they may have it, but if they have it, they haven't said it yet. There's no date for the fight, no location that's been announced. So,
right.
Many fans have voiced frustration with Jake Paul's boxing matches, questioning why the sport continues to rely on retired legends instead of highlighting current stars. To these critics, it reflects a shortcoming in the current generation of fighters who have struggled to achieve broad recognition on their own. Analysts warned that if this trend persists, boxing could become overly dependent on nostalgia, drifting away from its core principles of competitive, skill-based combat.
Stuff like this, no, I didn't like the Jake-Mike fight. I told you guys that. I didn't think Mike should have been fighting then. I don't think he should be fighting now. I don't like the fact that Jake and Gervonta are fighting when Gervonta's a sitting champion. At least these two are retired, but this is an indication, and I've said this over and over, of where boxing is. That this will probably have a ton of intrigue, but it's almost like the WWE rolling out Stone Cold Steve Austin or rest in peace Hulk Hogan whenever they need a big time pop and whenever they need to get the crowd energized because their current stars just aren't hitting the same. This is what boxing feels like right now. Boxing feels like Antiques Roadshow. Honestly, this kind of stuff, that's what it feels like. And again, it's the spectacle, it's the entertainment value, and it is the era of the unpredictable, as Mike says there, but it's not good. I can tell you that. It is not good. This is why we need people like Turkey Al Sheikh, Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, hell, Dana White to come into boxing and fix this shit, because stuff like this and Jake and Gervonta is kind of the norm now. Mike says, I still can't believe Floyd really wants to do this. He added, it's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it, so it's signed and it's happening. It's not even believable to hear Mike talk like that. Because yes, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, he'd be right. But we saw Mike struggle to walk into the ring versus Jake. And yeah, Mike was dangerous enough for Jake not engage with him. But Jake not engaging with him just circled and jabbed his way to the ending of an exhibition where both guys get their hand raised, and we all feel like, yeah, that wasn't a fight, because clearly Mike is not the same. And clearly, Jake did not want to take that extra step to try to actually put him away.
Joe Rogan shared his thoughts on the potential Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson matchup, focusing on the personal tension between the two fighters. According to Rogan, Floyd has never had a good relationship with Tyson, and if they ever faced each other, that friction would likely influence the fight. He suggested that Floyd might abandon his usual defensive style, opting instead for a more aggressive approach, possibly even seeking a knockout to settle their rivalry. While Floyd hasn't typically pursued knockouts late in his career, Rogan emphasized that personal animosity can change a fighter's strategy entirely. The idea of Floyd setting aside his cautious approach to make a statement against.
So they're not trying to knock each other out?
No, well, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather don't like each other. They have not liked each other forever.
Tyson and Mayweather?
Yes.
But they like
Mike Tyson and Mayweather don't like each other.
Huh.
If there's a fight that might be real, like where Mike Tyson might say, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out, or I'm going to try to knock this motherfucker out.
It would be Floyd? They wouldn't fight.
Yeah, because if you look at like the Jake Paul fight, no disrespect, and if you look at the Roy Jones fight, no disrespect.
Yeah.
They look like they were sparring.
Yeah.
Right? It looked like there was agreements made.
Yeah.
Working. I do not know if Mike would honor any of those agreements if there was a moment
They've
to
had beef
crack.
for years.
Yeah. If there was a moment to really... Could he hit him? I mean, that little motherfucker can move still at 50 years old. Yeah. He's so slick.
Yep.
He's still in shape. He's still fit.
They're both old as fuck.
Old as fuck.
But this is the boxing.
How old is Mayweather?
67.
Dude, Bernard
49?
Hopkins
49.
was still at the best in the world at 50.
Yep.
I mean, that's incredible.
That doesn't mean shit, though. With this. Because he was active fighting contenders.
Yeah. Kentucky's got Gomez on the ground.
You're talking about two retired guys.
Yeah.
Fighting the exhibition.
So
it's just money grabs.
It's so weird,
Yeah, it is weird. It's money grabs. I don't like it, but it's fun. You know, it's something to watch.
I'll hate on it, but I'll tune in.
Yeah, I'll tune in. It's, but it's not really fighting.
So Jake Paul's not going to actually be trying to knock out Gervonta Davis.
There's a reason it says exhibition.
If I had a guess. Yeah. The event itself would be a world-class venue, be presented to a global audience with new in-ring technology elements that will reshape how boxing is presented and scoring is achieved for years to come. What does that mean?
That shit has Abu Dhabi written all over
What does that mean? This is Tyson versus Mayweather. What does that mean? Where are they doing that? Are they doing that in Saudi Arabia?
But of course. Because they have all the money.
My friend.
And they just go, what do you want to see? I'd always like to see Floyd Tyson.
Who wants to fight an alligator?
Ariel Helwani wrapped up the discussion with a practical perspective, noting that a Floyd Mayweather versus Jake Paul matchup is unlikely to occur under official boxing rules. He explained that most insiders view it primarily as a money-making spectacle designed for entertainment. More importantly, Helwani suggested that many see the exhibition as a potential warm-up for Mayweather's next legitimate fight, which could be against Terence Crawford in a professional setting. He emphasized that the focus should remain on Floyd's return to sanctioned competition,